Why Mamdani? Why New York? When I heard the news that Mamdani was elected mayor of New York, I was not surprised at all because I saw the reason at first glance, and I even saw destiny, not chaos. At the same time, I also understand questions from many people. Why it is Mamdani and why it is New York? Most Americans are worried that the US is becoming unrecognizable. Maybe they are so frightened and tried to escape. I'll tell you, it is destined that Mamdani would be elected in New York. My reason is different from most of the explanations you'll find in articles that repeat the same surface level ideas, such as New York is dominated by the Democratic Party, young voters support progressives. Many renters are frustrated with real estate politics. Immigrant communities are dissatisfied, and so on. Frankly, some of these explanations simply use phenomena to explain phenomena. They do not answer the deeper questions, such as why people in New York are so strong Democratic Party supporters, why young men are more aggressive in New York than that in other cities. Some other explanations are phenomena that could be seen in most of cities in USA, such as progressive young people, angry immigrant communities, terrible house rent policies. But almost all people ignore a fact. Only one factor is unique in New York. What is that factor? A second to think. Wall Street. What is Wall Street? To me, Wall Street is like a farm where farmers plant money and harvest money. But whose money? And how? The question led me to an unexpected and interesting conversation with OpenAI, starting from the topic of Bitcoin. At first, OpenAI seems to agree that Bitcoin has its own value. OpenAI described Bitcoin's value as a mixture of psychology, scarcity, uh, technology, and belief. It said Bitcoin is valuable because people agree it has value. But, friends, when you listen to my article, I want you to ask yourself a question. If you don't have Bitcoin and your name, will you agree that Bitcoin has any value? Why? For me, I never agreed that Bitcoin has any value. And till now, I don't agree with that. But OpenAI tried to persuade me to believe that Bitcoin has value. It compared Bitcoin to gold, said gold also produces nothing. Why is gold valuable? Because people treat it as a store of value. Bitcoin is the digital version of that logic. But thinking more deeply, my friend, do you think gold and Bitcoin are the same? And do you think they are comparable? Let me talk about logic. Logic is based on fact. Gold has a natural history. Originally, it had real value as jewelry. Till now, as a kind of metal, it still has its own value. In old times, its rarity meant only the wealthy and powerful could afford it. Its physical beauty and durability gave it psychological value as well. Because gold had both real and symbolic value, it created desire. Almost all the people wanted to own it. And because it was rare, durable, and easy to carry. And in older times, people often found it difficult to find the people who had what they wanted, also wanted what they had. So they decided to agree that gold was wanted by all people. In that way, gold became currency. That procedure was half by democratic decision, half by historical tradition. Let me have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is different from the moment it was born. Its genetic code contains unfairness. It was created by someone with advanced technical knowledge and shared among a small group of who also understood the technology. It could be called a cliquish process. Its psychological value is constructed by narrative persuasion, which is a fragile illusion. Gold belongs to nature. A shepherd wandering in the mountain might accidentally find gold. A child or an old person might find gold by luck. Bitcoin does not work this way. If you don't understand the technology, you have zero chance of discovering or mining it. The creation of gold's value happened over centuries. The creation of Bitcoin value happened inside a small cycle. Gold's value was built on real goods and real value. Bitcoin's value was built on illusional belief. For example, if I sell bread, I cannot accept Bitcoin because Bitcoin makes itself so valuable. I cannot afford the change to the bread buyer. At the same time, the complex procedure brought much trouble to exchange. It is so opposite to the character of gold. People say Bitcoin can be transferred globally. But to me, since it represents too much value, it is like a cloud traveling in the sky, but disconnected from the ground. As for scarcity, unlike gold, which is created by nature, Bitcoin is made by human beings. Greed is the sin could not be cured of human nature. It is a destiny that the way of creating Bitcoin will be used again and again. Today, there are thousands of cryptocurrencies created by people who wanted to get rich quickly. Scarcity becomes of illusion. OpenAI also said Bitcoin is valuable because people distrust government and banks, and because they desire independence. But currency is not created for political emotion. Currency exists for economic function. Even government cannot force people to violate economic laws for political purposes. As for independence, that is the most ridiculous argument of all. A currency that does not depend on real goods has no meaning. Bitcoin is not independent. It is a parasite. It feeds on the real economy without contributing to it. Yes, Bitcoin is abstract, but abstraction is a perfect tool for cheaters. That is why Ponzi schemes rely on psychology, not knowledge. They make use of people's greed, make them forget what real wealth is. So the abstraction of Bitcoin becomes a new form exploitation for ordinary people. Real value is simple. It is helping other people. Food, clothing, shelter, transportation, knowledge, art, and laughter. These are value. In Los Angeles, and actresses are rich, but people are not angry because people know how they become rich. They created emotional value for ordinary people. Though they are rich, even many people love them. But on Wall Street, people get rich by creating illusions. They produce products so abstract that even the creators do not understand them. They don't need to understand. They only need to sell the illusion. What happens when illusion replaces value? I want to break the illusion. So I imagine a day when farmers are united and refuse to sell food to financiers who hold 90% of the dollars. What will happen? Who is rich? Who is poor? Money is just a tool. One tool is enough. The more layers of abstract tools people create, the more layers of abstract tools people create, the more distance grows between real value and people's ability to recognize the real value. It will make the cheater more easier to cheat ordinary people. Bitcoin is not a tool for fair exchange. It is a tool for extracting value without giving value. And Wall Street uses similar tools. They plant nothing but harvest everything. They take nourishment created by workers who sweat, build houses, grow food, teach children, heal the sick. They turn that nourishment into abstract, abstract financial products. Wall Street is worse than a creator. A cheater deceives only those who voluntarily participate. Wall Street's illusion harm even those who do not participate. That's why in New York, ordinary people feel the ground is tilted. They feel as if they will fall into hell. Why Mamdani wins in New York? Because New York is the city where Wall Street lives, where the chance of success is least equal, where money created from nothing can buy anything, where real labor becomes cheaper and cheaper, where people feel something is wrong even if they cannot explain it. They vote with their instinct, not their theory. Madani becomes a symbol, not of policy, but of revenge, fairness, anger, and moral clarity. Will this movement fail? Maybe for now, because the world is so complicated. Many layers of narrative make some people far away from simple truth. But in the future, I do not know. AI is already taking jobs from real workers. If people cannot work to earn food, food will have to be distributed. What kind of world will that be? Think about that. Think carefully. As for me, I don't think I will live long enough to see that day.